Space Ninja Warrior. This was the unique game mode introduced in the third Tennocon. That would have been Tennocon 2018, the one that was on last week. In the first year, there was the build your own mission up to level, I think it was like level 9,999. The second year was the Stalker mode, where players could play as the Stalker. Then this year, there was this. Space Ninja Warrior. They mentioned a few other games that it's based upon, but due to, well, let's just say Nintendo-based things, we won't mention any of those. This was a very, very unique game mode, and I've been talking to a few people who have mentioned this, and it always ends up the same. Build your own missions was something that people would have liked. The play as the Stalker and go after other players is something that they should add that will allow people to play as the Stalker and take on people, whether they know them or not. Best way would have been they can't be on your friends list, and then you're just going after random people. But this, yeah, this needs to be a game mode where you can challenge people, and it's... something pops up on the screen, you have 3 seconds to read it and then figure out what it is to do, and some of them were actually pretty fun looking, and they're not exactly long. I think the final for this was about 50 of these. It would be a great little mini game that shows off a lot of features of the game that a lot of people don't really know about. The petting of the puppy, as long as you keep it as a puppy. I think you've got to keep the Cobra as a puppy. Then there was ones that, well, people really don't need to know about, which was Saren dancing and wiggling her butt. All you had to do was put the camera up. Dat booty. Yeah, that really didn't need to be in there. But things like bouncing enemies and shooting them out of the air and going invisible in a room full of enemies. Oh, you keep moving while the... Oh! I've completely forgotten the name of them. That Grenier enemy that can go invisible and will basically kill you pretty instantly as soon as they catch you. Those guys, they can take you down, and it's nice to know that this would have been another way of telling people that, well, these are little features that are in the game that not many people really know about, because not everybody will build a frame and continue to use it to the point where they know exactly how everything works. They'll build it, level it up, move on. Sometimes they'll move back and they'll have a try with them later, but most of the time they'll just sell them and they stick to particular frames and loadouts, and I will admit, I am guilty of this as well. I have a particular loadout that I like, and that's what I run most of the time. I basically bounce between 4 or 5 frames, and there's what, 36 or 37 current frames. I could be seriously wrong there. If we include primes, there is more than this, by the way. But there is a lot of frames, and yeah, it would be nice if this actually became a thing, a bit like the playable Stalker mode, which, yeah, I tried to find footage, but I couldn't find any that was good enough to actually put in, because it was from last year, and yeah, it's an unlisted video, so I couldn't really find it. I could have spent another couple days on this and found the footage of it, but the playable Stalker mode from last year is one that I think everybody would really love to come as a feature in the game. They could actually make it so you go after people who, as I mentioned earlier, have the Stalker strike, and they can go after them, and it can just be a wave. Instead of having an AI Stalker, they have the AI and players, because player versus player, it will make the Stalker more interesting to try and take down, rather than him just turning up and getting killed pretty much instantly. Depending on what level mission you're on. If you're on a really high level one, the Stalker can actually be challenging sometimes, especially if you're leveling things up. But Space Ninja Warrior, 20 mini-games where you have a short period of time to do a certain task, and it's just a 3-second thing. Bit of text on the screen, you have to read, decipher what you're doing, and then actually do it. Yeah, this will be a great minigame. We have Flappy Bird that's in there, we have Wormius that's in there. I think Space Ninja Warrior it's there, it works, it was shown at Tennocon. Adding this in as kind of a mini game, people wouldn't say no. But these same people, by the way, are also waiting on, what did they call it? Frame Fighter? I wanted to say Tenno Fighter, but it's not. It's called Frame Fighter, which was shown last year at Tennocon, and no, it wasn't actually. The idea came around, I think, then, and it was a little bit later on. They have shown that. They have said that that one is coming. In the meantime, I think Wave Warrior. Where did Wave Warrior come from? Space Ninja Warrior should become a thing. Anyway, we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch yous next time.